I messed up. There's no reason to sugarcoat what happened today. Today I had a pretty steep red day. I was caught on the wrong side of a trade. My green streak has now ended. I've been on a hot streak for the past 2.5 weeks. I mean, I was at the cusp of $200,000 of gains in just the past 2.5 weeks of trading. Just like even last week. Last week I made $72,000 in 5 trading days. Very grateful for it. But today, it's not necessarily a tough pill to swallow. It comes with the territory. I trade with $500,000. So obviously, not every day is going to be a green day. And if I trade with more money, I can't just expect it all to be rainbows and butterflies. With big position size comes great responsibility, and today I paid the price for it for a very simple mistake. But very simple mistakes, when you trade with a decent amount of capital, cost a lot of money. So $10,189 is what I lost today. I did not want to sugarcoat today. I shared this with my LPP team. I mean, I made it very obvious that based off of Friday's resistance, we were testing that resistance range. At one point today, I was up $10,000. So not down 10,000, I was up. I got greedy. I was so obsessed about hitting my milestone of the 200K. And guess what? A very simple mistake of not locking in profits, not respecting previous patterns. I mean, when looking at QQQ, it's very easy to see that we were testing previous support range. When looking at the 4-hour time frame, we were above a very critical support range, and yet I continued to ignore the fact that we are still above the moving average. The market has been more bullish than it's been bearish, and guess what? It doesn't matter how much I'm up in today or how much I'm up in the past week or in the past month, because at the end of it, right, if I'm trading based off of, and that's what I was doing today. The very simple mistake that I made today is I refused to respect previous resistance levels. I refused to respect that resistance that it was obvious, right, for everyone. And because of that lack of respect that I gave to previous patterns, I got greedy. I was so focused on hitting my milestone that literally only matters to me. It has no correlation to the trade opportunity, and I paid the price. And I know I've made this mistake in the past before. I probably will continue to make the mistake in the future, but my job is not to be perfect. My job is just to work on what I could have done better. And I could have sized down instantly, right? When I was up 10K and started slowly giving some of it back, I could have seen that the market direction was beginning to change. I mean, there's so much that I could have done differently. I don't know if it was because I was coming off of this hot streak that I was more confident that I thought I could get out of it. This is where, again, ego is a big issue in the stock market, where the stock market will make it very easy for you to understand if you have an ego issue. But today I feel like the mistake that I made was very, very simple. I was not respecting previous patterns. I was only focused on the dollar amount that I was up or down because of what I wanted to hit. And guess what? I paid the price for it. This is why we talk about the blind trading challenge. This is why we talk about not focusing so much on how much you're up or down, because that has no correlation to the actual trade opportunity itself. But the actual trade itself has everything to do with when you should be buying or selling, at least for me, right? If I would have focused on that simple principle that I literally talk about all the time, I would not be in the same position that I am right now. And again, I'm not here to, oh my God, feel sorry for me, I had a red day. No, this is all part of it, right? Red days are always right around the corner. My job's not to avoid risk. My job is to manage it. I just could have done things better. I knew that this red day was right around the corner based off of this hot streak that I was having. And I want to share it with you guys. I want to remind you that no one is invincible. We're always going to have red days. I mean, you can have 3-4 red days a week and still end up in the green on a weekly basis, because it's all about how you manage your loss, right? You can take $50 or $100 losses, but if your wins are $500, then they outweigh those losses, right? And this is just a reminder that position size is super important. This is also a reminder that you can't just want to begin to trade with more money and want all of the good that comes with it and not want to tolerate any of the bad. I've shared this on Instagram today. I'm going to be sharing it on Twitter, and I wanted to share it with you guys here on YouTube as well. I wanted to use myself as an example where, again, I love sharing my thought process with you guys on both my green days and my red days, because I feel like there's always takeaways, especially on these red days, where sometimes, I mean, today I definitely made a mistake, but I just received a message on Instagram, and it was very clever because it was said in a very specific way where even when you do have red days, it's not necessarily that you did anything wrong. It's just that, red days also mean that you manage your risk, and each open trade is open to risk. And if you end up cutting losses on a trade because it's just no longer going according to plan and you're managing your risk, then so be it. It doesn't make it a bad trade. It just means that the direction changed on you and it just ended in the red, right? But you holding yourself accountable and keeping those losses small, that is the positive takeaway and what I think is most important. So wanted to share, again, not just my successes with you, but of course my failures. I hope that this just is an encouragement for all those that are sometimes hesitant to lock in profits because of this made up milestone that you think is very significant to you. Just remember, you're the only person in the world that's ever looking at that dollar amount. That really doesn't matter to the actual trade itself, right? The dollar amount that you're working towards is insignificant to the actual trade opportunity. And this is why it's so important to have a plan and stick to it, and don't cloud your thoughts based off of how much you're up or how much you're down, because that's completely irrelevant to the market when it comes to the actual trade opportunity. So excited to take on the challenges that tomorrow presents. And I'm going to be doing that with the LPP team. So again, if you want to be able to watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow, it's the second link in the description down below. Feel free to share your thoughts down in the comments section. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me a direct message via Discord. And that's the first link in the description down below. I appreciate your time. Hope that we're in a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.